Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. We're playing as Serbia in World War I. Last time around, we captured Athens and took over Greece, which is pretty darn good. We'll be able to establish trade and also naval support through here, and hopefully I'll be able to claim the oil over in the east. But we do still have quite a large amount of Ottoman forces within our territory, most notably the possible attack by Ataturk at Bucharest. But we also still have the remains of the armies that tried to go ahead and take Belgrade. And in addition to that, we also have the Austrian Empire going down and attacking us through here. Hopefully they will retreat though, in the light of the Italian charger, 3 full stacks moving in. With all of that said though, I think what we should do right now is just go ahead and end turn and figure out who's gonna attack us, fight that battle, and beyond then try to figure out what our strategy is. So far, it's mostly just building up what we have and going on counterattacks. I should note at this point that I have been noticing that this campaign has gotten quite few views compared to previous campaigns, and that given that it's not very popular, we should limit the goals of the campaign. Partly because I cannot complete them, because we saw that Constantinople kind of crashed the game. So I think what would be more realistic then is we just cut the goal. Right now the goals for this campaign are objectives. It includes Berlin. But I think we'll scrap that and we'll just keep it for taking Austria or taking Vienna and taking Constantinople. If I take Constantinople as the last thing, I imagine it won't crash when I take Vienna. So if I take Constantinople as the last thing, it would still kind of, you know, the game wouldn't crash on me, so it would work a lot better. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and press end turn and figure out what the enemy has in store for us. Excellent! We've got a trade agreement proposed by Great Britain, and they even offer money for us to accept it. I guess they are in need of our coal, since they even offer money for it. Very good, I'd say. Thank you. Yet another trade agreement, this time from Mother Russia. She is not to be outdone by the island monkeys, so she offers 1,000 and trade agreement. And we say thank you to you too. Sagreb is yet again besieged, and we're looking at, I think, the 5th battle of Sagreb at this point. Not very fun. We've got a letter of demand from Greece, no surprise there. They're not very happy with us, and we don't have the troops to hold the province down. We have recruitment report, though, from a massive surge of troops being recruited in Greece, so we've got tons of reservists being sent in. Resupply rate is low in Greece. Hopefully we'll be able to replenish these guys. What does it say? Slow replenishment rate? Does it not say how many turns it will take for them to be fully upgraded? Enough though. I have enough with the reserves to strike down any army that comes against us. Very good with the extra trade now being brought in from the Russians. This one seemed to be blocked though. Is it because why is all my trade blocked? Why is all the trade being blocked? Has it switched port? Is that it? It's 0 over there, but it's not really being blocked anywhere as far as I can see. Now the Ottoman Navy, they have 2 ships raiding the trade here, but it shouldn't stop the trade entirely. So I'm not entirely sure what that's up with. It could be that it's all kind of diverted to this port, which I don't like because we can't really build ships in this port, so I kind of want to burn the port. I forgot to rebuild that. We're rebuilding it now anyways. No one made an attack except the stupid Austrians once again attacking Sagreb. Thing is though, we're just building Sagreb stronger and stronger, so they're not going to be able to get through. And I don't think, to keep the campaign going, we need to attack somewhere else and actually push the enemy back. I'm looking at possibly attacking Ataturk, but what we would need is some new troops in this region. I would want to attack him pretty quickly, so I think we'll just spam reservists. And we'll spam reservists everywhere, because I'm gonna need them anyways to hold down all the provinces afterwards, and we're gonna start to replace troops anyways with the old troops. I think what we'll do is we'll start off here actually. These troops have gone ahead and replenished quite enough, so we're gonna go ahead and attack here. Oh, they're retreating. I bet both of them are gonna retreat. Problem is, I cannot pursue them without leaving the capital open, which is a problem. They could actually attack the capital now, which I don't want, so I'm just going to send this cavalry unit. So it just sent the bastards away. I should maybe have gone for this one immediately and just left a few troops in the capital. I think, God, this one... We'll probably do this one off camera, because we've done so many battles over there. It's kind of getting annoying. Let's instead tear down Ataturk, destroy his army, and once again kind of open up for these troops, some of them, like the cavalry, to go in and raid Turkish settlements. And starting to tear down their economy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and attack over here. See what Ataturk actually brings. He does bring 1 artillery piece, so they actually have more artillery than us, but they have more light artillery. We have a machine gun. They have more cavalry. They have more infantry. He's better at everything actually, except for the fact that I am a human. And I know how to devise a plan to defeat an AI. We'll see. He does have, on paper, he has advantage in everything. He has advantage in cavalry, advantage in... I do have more modern cavalry than he does, with 10 extra accuracy. And he does have more infantry though, because I have bloody reservists. He has more artillery. The only thing I have an advantage is I have a machine gun. He doesn't. But that's about it. Did the music stop? I'm not sure. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into battle and defeat Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. Here's the plan. We've got the main line of infantry, which is going to advance upon the enemy. The artillery is going to cover our advance. Right now, it covers an area in which slightly goes into the enemy's deployment zone. Hopefully you'll be able to fire at them right at the start. Cavalry deployed on the right to move on the more open side of the town and attack the right side, possibly. No, they can't dismount. That's later infantry. It would be nice to dismount, take up position in some of those houses, but then again, the enemy does have a lot of mortars and stuff. And then I've got the reserve infantry, which is kind of going to be held back in reserve. Machine gun over here. It's going to be moved up onto this high hill. It's got overlooking all the side, and together with the reserve infantry should be able to hold down the side if the enemy decides to attack there, while the main line of infantry is going to conduct their attack towards this side. With that said, let's go ahead and start the battle. Okay, so there's an immediate change of plans because Kemal Ataturk has deployed his entire force to the right. Most importantly, my cavalry is now way out of line for this attack. Clever bastard, I'd say. Let's move the infantry forward. We're gonna link up with the machine gun, and we're gonna do a line towards the enemy. We've got the reserve infantry. What we'll do is we'll place 2 in reserve behind the main line, tell them to hold fire, and then we'll have 2 on this side of the main line. The cavalry is moving over as quickly as possible. I want to move the artillery a bit forward so that I can possibly strike. I can actually, they're streaming, the Ottoman troops are streaming forward very fast here. There will be no need to actually move the artillery. Hold and deploy immediately. Looking at the forces, their heavy artillery is situated right over there, and it started to bombard us. Where is he firing? Oh, that took quite a while, and that is close to my battery. We will immediately conduct... I want to kind of catch... You know what? I kind of want to catch the Ottomans while they're coming out of town. Block them so they're kind of bunched up coming out of town there. So we'll attack as quick, move forward as quickly as possible. Move forward the reserve. This unit is currently being bombarded, so it's kind of held back in the line. How's it going? Are we destroying them? Our shots are not landing true. Oh, they're moving their artillery. I will order my artillery to attack the ground around that. Should hopefully give more accurate fire. That gives us some respite in terms of the fact that the enemy won't be able to fire their artillery at us. Let's move a bit more forward into the forest. Move a bit more forward over there. Move a bit more forward over there. Machine gun should be able to fire overhead of this unit. Should work just fine. And these units should actually move into the forests and take cover there. My cavalry is now within position. They should move over to the far right. Machine gun will be ordered to situate itself right there. The Ottomans are now coming right out of town and are coming under heavy fire from us. Since they're kind of coming out unorganized, they make pretty easy targets for us. They've moved their artillery piece. Only a single battery made it out. I think I'm concentrating my artillery fire on the battery over on the left. And then I'll see if I can use my cavalry to take out the 2 mortar batteries on the right side. Seems like the units that came out here on the field were already kind of broken up before they even got out onto the field. So I'm wondering, because I didn't really kill anyone coming up through here. They're all kind of disorganized within town. Oh, we broke most of these. You know what? I want to continue to push so that we keep them kind of blocked in there, in town. Kinda looks like they're almost retreating. 2 reserve units forward. Machine guns forward. I think it's time to move in the cavalry to see if we can get an attack going over here. They've got 2 of their own cavalry units blocking us a bit over there, and then this line kind of needs to come a bit more on an angle. These guys hitting hit hard. Let's move forward with the general to support. Let's make sure that these guys don't shoot each other, so the unit in behind is not going to be on fire at will. The mortars are striking my cavalry as they're riding forwards. The Ottomans doing another attempt to get out of town. Are you even firing? Not very successfully anyways. You are firing at the given target, but not very successfully, I must say. Cavalry is rushing forward. Probably better to have them charge rather than to stop and fire. You should go in and attack the second area. Enemy cavalry is opening fire on us. Actually pull this one back and fire at will. Go through and hit the second one. And then you can sit back and fire at the enemy. They're sending in, the commander is going in and he's forcing us our cavalry back. Damn, Ottoman counterattack forced our cavalry away and broke it. They saved their battery for now. But my machine guns are now in place, tearing up the reserve cavalry over here. I'm more interested in, though, in massacring the infantry, which just coming out of town there ends up marching straight into death as we cut them down with superior firepower. They're all kind of being funneled through town and then coming at us, which are in extended lines firing at these targets here, just tearing them up. Let's see. They did manage to get... Oh, they lost all their mortars in that group, and in that group as well. So they only have that and that artillery piece over there. It's not going well for Ataturk. His cavalry just got murdered over there. Let's hold the machine gun. I'm not entirely sure. They started moving once the target I've given them retreated. Most of the enemy army is actually defeated at this point, and it's more just you know what? Let's push with the infantry instead and try not to kill our own troops. That unit, though, you know what? Do fire at will, but I'm gonna move mostly with the units on the left, then trying to avoid going in front of my own machine gun there, which at this point should be targeting the large unit rather than the stupid mortars and stuff. Move forward. There's a lot of dead Ottomans out here in the field as they came out of town. The commander is just behind there, trying to rally most of the forces. He should at this point, though, realize that the battle is over and should try to get his troops out of there. Once I break some of the bigger units in the back, I think he's actually... Let's send troops into town. Get that mortar group. The commander is about to ride straight into fire here. He's the most forward unit. He might very well get shot to death right about now. Troops to the front. Machine gun hold fire. The reservists are now being able to shoot at the reserve cavalry. Let's target the artillery piece. What is he doing? There's only 5 soldiers left in his group. And he's sitting here behind the sandbags, shooting my advancing troops. We're about to come into contact with the mortar over there. Hurry into position. I kinda just want him to retreat. Okay, he died. He was too brave for his own good there. And he got shot down. I was gonna let him leave, but he didn't want to. It's kind of hard to save him then. Mortar crews getting shot to pieces here. Any second now. There's only one guy manning the artillery piece, and he's getting away right now. Cavalry's gone. We are victorious. Great. Here's the result of that battle. We deployed similar troop 2,600 on my side, 2,700 or 800 on the Ottoman side. The Ottomans lost everything but 122 men, while my losses were 800 men, leaving then about 1,800. Very few, surprising, it's very few team kills, as it were, in this battle. Normally they're quite high, in at least like 300 men. But here, it's 6 men for my side. And then it's actually about almost 100 for the Ottomans. But very low. I'm very surprised at my numbers, that I'm only managed to team kill 6 of my own troops. Cavalry survived. I wasn't sure they were going to do that, but they did. Highest kills goes to an infantry unit, followed by infantry for all of it, actually. And then first in 5th place comes the machine gun. And the artillery only got 59, but then again it was conducting counter-battery fire rather than firing on infantry columns. Pretty good. It was counted as a decisive victory, to the point where I even get the Battle of Bucharest crossed swords symbol right there. We are they're a bit unhappy, so I will be recruiting tons of reservists, so I will actually pursue what remains of the Ottoman army, and we even end up on our own side of the river, which means... oh, he marched across, which means he's no longer gets resupply. Novice strategist, a commander when attacking on land. One thing that I wish you would get in Total War is kind of supply lines into enemy lines. Like, I would still be getting like a lower amount of supply, but still, if I had a direct road, like there would go a road to this bridge, of course, but if I had a connecting road all the way to the supply depot over here, so an open road which I'd marched and kind of conquered, I would still get supplies, but it would dwindle as further you got from it. Like, say there would be a number that would be equal for the entire, my own entire province, but then marching out of that province, it would be, you know, diminished the further you got. And then if, say, I'd marched all the way over here, and a small Turkish force just came, moved up to the bridge, that would get cut off. So I wouldn't get the supply lines. And that could be symbolized by, you know, like same as the trade when there's small carts moving around. Or I guess in this mod I believe it's trains moving, yes. So you would see like a supply column be symbolized going through there and then being kind of cut off. That battle was pretty quick. I still think we have quite a few moves to make here. definitely don't want to fight this one once again. I would probably do that off camera. And even if they siege me to the point where I start losing troops, so even next turn, I think I would be safe to crush them because they have not brought any artillery. And I have 2 machine guns and 1 artillery piece. I should be able to gun them down. Let's go ahead and end turn once more and see if I cannot figure out how to end the troops over here, which would send all Ottoman forces out of our own territory. And I also think that the Greek rebel army, I'll probably play that off camera as well, so we kind of speed this up. Get somewhere, so we can actually conduct offensive attacks into Austro-Hungarian territory, into the remnants of Romania, which haven't made a counterattack, but then again, this is a very weak province. I'm surprised the Russians haven't moved in and taken it. I've seen Russian forces pop up here. Yes. And with that, let's go ahead and then turn once more and see if the enemy goes ahead and makes an attempt to counterattack us. And we are back after the end turn. Workers on strike in Romania. After the army moved out. Then letter of demand in Greece and workers' riots. What did they destroy? A factory complex was destroyed in the riots, which is this one up here in Thessaloniki. We have trains gained for ministers, thief taker, repression in all region. Well, I hope he is the minister then of... Yes, he is the minister of justice. Then the opposition actually gained the point. Why did it even show me that? Loads of reservists being recruits all over the place. We have a town being constructed in Romania, or being upgraded. Even with the new reservists, we won't be able to escape a river or an attack by the proletariat. They're still -5, so they will attack. I am building up the railroads in this region. So, surprise, surprise, the Austro-Hungarians are sending an army against our capital. So they're coming down from Budapest and attacking us through there. And I think rather than meeting him at the capital, we should go ahead and meet him in the field in front of the capital. I'm holding off the main Ottoman force here, so I'm pretty sure that this won't fall. Trade is still going pretty badly. We'll have to switch that. Oh, you know what? It's not just that the trade from this port is burnt. That is not allowing trade. Of course, once the trade route which goes to the port in Split, now that continues off along this road and it hits Sagreb before it hits the capital, which means that is why we're losing so much trade. Also, the Italians skedaddle off. Bloody cowards. Let's see. With the reservists here, we're actually holding that down, which freed this army up to be able to move to the north and move to attack over here. Why is the replenishment rate so poor for all of these units? Slow replenishment rate. I have a pretty good replenishment rate. Is it because it's all old troops that I have left here? Because these guys get moderate trait, while these guys get slow. So it could be that because these guys are all older units and should actually be removed and replaced by the newer trench doctrine units. So this infantry is right here, and the light infantry and the foreign volunteers, the reservists and the Iron Brigade and stuff like that. Currently I can't, but we'll have to fight our way out here at some point. The Austrian-Hungarian army is moving in to attack the capital. Have to deal with these. How is the Ottoman Empire actually faring right now? Moderate, moderate. So I think they're on the same level as us. So I'm pretty sure they have lost capabilities both in wealth and power. Well, clearly because I've killed quite a few full stacks of them. How's the Austrian? They're strong and affluent, so there's 1 point above us. Germany, though, probably... Oh, didn't I not click Germany? There we go. Spectacular and terrifying, so that's the highest you can go. How's France doing? Terrifying in power, but rich in wealth. So... not as much spectacular and mighty. So not really to no one's really to the power of Germany. Except Great Britain. They are also terrifying in power and spectacular in wealth. I wonder if I could try and get some kind of peace treaty with some of these smaller nations. Like, what's the point of Denmark declaring war on me? But I think that we should probably end it right here for this episode. So hopefully, as always, you guys enjoyed this episode, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.